Live. My beard's a little crazy. My hair is a little crazy too, even though it's just been cut. I'm trying to find a good spot for this to sit. Still looking. Trying to make sure it doesn't like fall over. Maybe I can do this and go like that. There we go, guys. All right, for those who are watching, we got a mic set up behind us here from our session yesterday. I got my cup of coffee here that I keep kind of drinking. Move that over just a hair. Yeah, that's kind of what we got going on here. We've been mixing today. Today is just one of those days where we mixed. We're gonna be mixing some stuff. I don't know if I will do anything where I am. Let me tilt this just a little bit more towards me. There we go. That's a little bit better. We did some sessions this weekend that were fun. Two hip hop guys that were kind of interesting. One guy did like a rock hip hop thing that was kind of cool. And then we had a band that also came in. That was a lot of fun. We recorded them live. That's actually what I'm working on right now. We're going to get them some really cool sounding tracks here, I think. Hopefully. And like I said, my hair is crazy. For those who were watching, or not, anyways, thanks for watching. For those who just left, and those who have just chimed in, thanks for watching. We are going to answer questions. If you guys got any questions on about what we do here, who we are, I might step away here for a minute and reposition a light so I don't look so blue. I have a blue light that's directly above me here. That's why I look like a Blue Man Group. So give me a quick second here. Take a gander at our space. That's gonna look better. Yeah, no, I'm not quite so blue. And hey, we got 3 people watching. Kind of figured we do this on a lunch hour here. Maybe we'll call it studio lunch hour. I don't know. We might do it every day. We might do it a couple times a week. I don't know. We're still kind of playing around with all the live stuff. When it comes like live streaming, like I'm doing this straight off my iPhone. If you guys have any questions on how I'm doing that, let me know. It's pretty simple, actually. Or if you have questions about the space that I'm currently in, that's just kind of right. I have jumped quite a bit. For those, hey, hi Boris. I don't know where you're from, but hi. Thanks for watching. And yeah, anybody who wants to chime in and say hi or where you're from or have questions for us, feel free. We'll try to answer them. If not, we're just kind of roll with it. Like I said, I'm in the studio today, just working on tracks for people, stuff that we recorded this weekend. We'll probably continue doing things like maybe a lunch hour, like every Monday maybe, or every Monday and Friday. I really don't know. Try to read who the print is so small on this. Hey, everybody that has said hi so far, hello. Give us some questions. We'll try to give some answers. Like I said, we're mixing studio stuff. That's what we do with everything. That's kind of our business. It's kind of what I do for a living. Other than have a crazy beard that's a little spotty here and there. But for anybody who's curious, the beard's not going anywhere. I cut my hair about every 6 months, but that was actually the first live stream we did was where I was getting ready for the barber. And I'm not super happy on the haircut that they did. They did it a little shorter than I wanted, but hair grows, sort of. Yeah, we worked on a Gamma Paw was the band we worked on this weekend. I got some really cool drum tracks. They're sitting on my laptop here to my left. I'm gonna keep working on them. We've been working on guitars, sounds, drum sounds. Drums for me are always the easiest to get done correctly the first time. Like I can get a good drum sound really quickly by adding just some EQ and compression, and that's kind of my drum sound. I'll go through and maybe add some gates for some tonality stuff. Maybe I'll go through and I'll tweak maybe the snare sound itself with an EQ, or sometimes we'll add samples. Like, we'll still have the original drum sound, but add a sample to it to kind of beef it up a little bit. Oh, bummer, everybody left. Oh, the two that are still watching, thanks for watching. I'll drink some coffee and just kind of generally not look so blue. I added a light. I might have to pull it closer. We'll see. But that's kind of the general consensus of what's going on here. If anybody's had any questions, feel free to hit us up. We're kind of doing this on a lunch hour because we thought people would watch. More people would watch than maybe we did it on, say, like an evening. I can't pronounce your name, but hi. It starts with a B. Sandin is the last part. So hi, I'm going to call you Sandin for lack of trying to butcher your name. So, hi, thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. If you like our videos, hit the like and subscribe. We have other videos out there on guitar stuff. We're working on some stuff for Waves plugins. We just want to put them through their paces before we actually do the plugin review, how we use them. Like, I've got one on here to my right here that sounds pretty stinking cool. It's not something that's like hidden plugin that you can't go buy right now. It's actually I want to say it's, what is this thing called? Voltage amps from Waves. There's like a series of like 5 amplifiers that are kind of like your 5-key guitar amps that you would use in a studio. I feel like I'm moving further and further away from everybody, but I'm not. I'm just slacking. Try to sit up, maybe that's what it is. Try to sit up a little bit more. That helps. This is a car show shirt, if anybody cares. It's from a car show I did a couple years back. I'm trying to get closer, but I don't know if I can. It's probably about as close as I actually want to be anyways. Got the studio behind us. It's a mess back there. It's a real mess. I need to clean it. It's just, you do sessions and stuff gets cleaned. Some stuff doesn't. Some stuff is like, you're done and you just want to go home. And that's with everything. There's days where I'm done. I want to go do something else. I do work for home, so it's hard to be like, oh, I want to go home. I'm already home. But I am here. Yeah. Anybody's got any questions? Feel free to hit us up. I got a message that's under review. I don't know who it is. It says Boris, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what. Yeah, I don't know what that message is. We're going to keep it hidden. I feel like it is one of those messages that people are trying to solicit stuff. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when I get it on my phone, and I hate it when people try to do it on my live streams. I got this handy cart here. I love this cart. It's got my laptop, and it's got a monitor controller. I did a video about it this morning, a short, so if anybody wants to go watch that, they can. Like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe buttons. Let us know on what we could do live streams on. We've got a few that we want to be doing. Kind of figured just do it kind of like a vlog style, just kind of rant, talk. I do coffee time, and coffee time is kind of the same thing in a shorter form. But those ones I try to script out a little bit more so I know what I'm doing. And I mean shorter, they're still like anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes. But the live streams are so much more fun because I can interact with people as much as I can. Maybe I'll let them go for an hour. I've been letting them go for about half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, but maybe I'll let them go for an hour today and see where that lands. A lot of this is just kind of trial and error. In case you're curious, we did build this space. This is a studio we built, I don't know, a little warm on the laptop. No, not a surprise. Need to clean the fans out, I think. But we did build the space. We kind of have a weird little bit of a space here because we don't actually have a desk. Alan, hi. You do game? I imagine you're a gamer since it says Alan Gamer Shorts. But hey, we play games from time to time. I haven't done it in a while. Been too busy. Used to play like a lot of like Call of Duty and type stuff like that. We are located here in what is normally sunny Loveland, Colorado, but today it's raining. That's kind of where we're from, where we are. Um, I'm kind of that's what we are. I was going to introduce myself, but I think I may have already done that. But for those who are new to watching, I'm Justin. Hence why the cup says Justin. This is my in case of emergency. Take a drink. I don't know. We like northern Colorado. It's very nice up here most of the time. We get a lot of sun. We get like 300 days of sun, something like that. There's quite a bit of musicians in the area, so that kind of helps. Like we could go see shows, go hang out with friends and stuff who play in bands. We play in band. I play in a band sometimes. Not anything that anybody would know. Kind of thinking about maybe putting a band together. So if anybody is watching this and you're in the northern Colorado, hit me up and maybe we can find a style of music that we could jam to. I do like to jam. I like to just play drums and see what, see where it takes us. Got 3 watching. We went from 17 to 3, but I'm okay with 3. It means we got 3 people watching who are still interested in watching this. I feel like sometimes, you get a live stream and it's like, hey, it's live. And then you get on and you're like, I really don't care what this guy's talking about, which is fair. I kind of feel that way sometimes too. Not usually, but sometimes. Yeah, everybody went away. That's okay. We got quite a bit of gear here we got to put back together. We redid the desk this entire week. I actually did the first live stream where I said, hey, I might get rid of the desk. I actually did it. I get rid of the desk. I have 2 racks on each side of a shelf that holds a TV. Holds a 43-inch TV. And I've really considered getting rid of the TV, but it's kind of nice to have just generic stuff on it. Something like, hey, let's put some scenery on it. Let's put something that looks like outside. Right now, I've been watching YouTube, which is kind of fun. I can like watch YouTube, put a movie on, mute it, let it play while I'm editing. Kind of feel like there's something out there. Like I'm looking through a window because there's no windows in a recording studio generally. The consensus is that's kind of changing, but for me, it seems like down here it would be hard to put in a window since it's in a basement. Trying to think. If you're watching, you like this, go hit the like and subscribe, or don't. But you can also drop in comments. We're trying to react to more comments, so like just send us comments. We'll talk to you. Otherwise, I'm gonna kind of rant a little bit. I've had people comment on my glasses. People seem to like the wireframe. I do too. Also helps me see. Yeah. I don't really know what else to talk about here. Like I said, if you're watching, we are live in our studio here to answer questions and to talk about anything. If there's musicians watching, sometimes there are, or just general, like, why am I in a recording studio? I can talk about that probably for days. The reason I'm in a recording studio is because that's what I do for a living. I own and operate Fox and Robyn Recording, hence the name of the channel. Actually, they wouldn't let us do recording because it was too long of a name. Let's see, I don't know, we've done this for about 15 minutes now. And so far, we've only had a few commenters, but, we'll take whatever comments we can get. Feel free to ask us whatever you think. It doesn't have to be necessarily music related. Or even, just day-to-day stuff. We like talking with people. That's kind of why I started the channel, is so I can talk to people and kind of communicate, like, this is what I think should be done, or hey, this is what I've experienced. Got to create a community. That's what it is. It's all community based. Without it, we're kind of just doing it alone. You can do it for yourself, which is always good, but it's nice to have friends and people around who are like, yeah, that was a great idea, or no. The funny thing is, I'm wondering how long my phone will stand up here, because it is currently leaning against what is known as a direct box, and that's a thing that just converts one type of connector to another type of connector. kind of in the layman's terms, but I don't know. There's not much else holding it up. It's kind of like it might be standing on its own at this point. We'll see, but yeah, that's all I know. If there's anything you guys want to know, let me know. I'm gonna keep ranting. I might work on some stuff here. I got guitars that I need to work on, but I'm also kind of like, I need a break. I need a break from hearing electric, overdriven guitars thrown at my face, you know, through speakers. I gotta, you know, I could clean the space, I suppose. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing anything like, hey, this is how we set up a studio, or set up a recording session, or set up a drum kit, or that's kind of where we want to do videos, but you know, I've got to stick with the channel a little bit. I'm trying to stay. I might have to move my light here. 1 second. Kind of see. That's the space behind me. It's a mess. You can kind of see the desk, but anyways, that's a little better. I feel like I'm not still quite so blue. Like I said, I have a blue light that hangs directly above me, and I could change it to a different color, but all the colors I've tried down here, blue seems to be the color that fits the space. You gotta feel the space, you know, you gotta make sure everything is you know, kind of feng shui, and the yin and the yang, and all that stuff that's in the room here kind of floats. And blue is the color that fits this space. I tried red. Red didn't feel good. I tried kind of like just warm, natural light. That didn't feel good either. And blue was just kind of what stuck. It kind of like filled the vibe of the space. So, that's what I know. Anybody else has any more like questions? Feel free to shoot them out. Maybe not sit too far back. Yeah. I'm gonna put my cup away. Don't need that cup anymore. Yeah, that's what I know. Keep working on stuff. Oh, I need to fix a video today too. I think I need to fix a video. I had someone send me a comment about, hey, or actually it wasn't even a comment for. Why'd you close? There it goes. Sometimes programs like to close, sometimes they don't. I had a person I sent a video to that I edited for them, and they're like, yeah, the video just didn't work. And I was like, really? That's kind of strange. Because it seemed to be fine. I just couldn't hear anything. And I didn't want them not, you know, I want them to hear stuff. Makes sense. Go away, Da Vinci. But I was editing some stuff, and I realized that I probably muted something that didn't need to be muted in the video, and was kind of an important thing. Quit that. Is this one? I have so many open. I don't think this was it. I think this was it, but why am I not seeing my files? Because I'm dumb and I didn't connect the hard drive. And the question is, what did I do with said hard drive? So we're going to quit DaVinci Resolve. And we'll do with that later. We use DaVinci Resolve to edit video here. There's times where we'll edit with other stuff, but DaVinci seems to be the one that works the best. I wonder if it's in this drawer. Yeah, it is. Hey, I found it. Even better. I use externals for some of our video stuff, especially when we're like, yeah, we're going to go to a different location. It's easier to grab that than grab the big hard drive that sits here. Plus, sometimes it's like, oh, I want to go sit somewhere else, and I want to, you know, I want to edit somewhere else. I don't want to just be sitting here in the studio editing. I want to go off and do something different. So, yeah. I don't know how much longer I'll carry this on. Today might be a shorter day. Might be a longer day. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that works. I don't know what the deal is. I have to check out his video. Sometimes people are like, the video didn't work, and then I look at it, and it's like, well, yeah, it didn't work because... Yeah, no, he's right. That's very strange. Don't know what that was all about. You render out a video, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So, so you do like a version 2 to make sure things are working correctly, which is weird. Because they're like, yeah, it worked fine when I hit render. You know, it's like, add to render key. I wonder what it means. I try. See what happens here. So anyways, got a video rendering here. We'll just sit here and kind of keep talking. MacBooks seem to render stuff pretty quick nowadays. Like, we work off of an older MacBook. It's an M1 Pro. So it works pretty well. Like, we're rendering this video. It's 1:45 is how long the video is. And it works pretty well. Let's see, I got another message. It's under review. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. If you guys are going to send me comments, at least make them appropriate. YouTube does have some guidelines when it comes to that type of stuff. Interesting. Yeah, there's an issue here. So, which is interesting. Move that one to trash. I love it when it's like, yeah, there's a missing clip, but it doesn't tell you what missing clip there is. No more clips of missing or offline source frames. Wonder what it could be. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Sometimes you get stuff and you just gotta go and figure out why. Like, why is it doing that? Like, it plays fine here. And sometimes there's like, you have to do like a render in place type thing. What am I gonna do? Let's see. The funny thing is, like, I went through and actually got, I think I got all the clips in here. I don't think there's anything that's actually missing. Especially clips that are like, I'm currently using. Okay, theme song. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, that's this clip here. Sometimes you just gotta go and delete that. Boop. That's not what I want. I wanted to hide that track. Anyways, make tracks hidden. Sometimes it helps. You know, it's good to know. If you guys got any questions for me, hit me up. For those who are strange, because we got a few of them out there. There we go. Gotta fix some of our stuff. When you put a video in, sometimes you just gotta kind of figure out some things. Yeah, so we're putting in a video here, and it's for another video that we're doing. So, and sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. We're just gonna delete things. The problem is the thing we're working on, we worked on it a while ago, and I saved it on a different computer, and then I opened it up on this computer, and I had to sync a bunch of stuff. It wasn't fun. So it's not something that's like, oh, that's really weird. It's just kind of strange. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes you have to reinsert stuff because it doesn't work. What are you talking about? See what it does. It says I'm missing things. Those who are watching, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. If you're not watching, it's fine. Whatever. You'll watch it later. Sometimes I watch live streams like, oh, we live streamed it 2 today and I missed it. So I'll watch it like later today or tomorrow. It's one of those things like we're just trying to create content, and whether it's good or bad, we don't know. But we also want to connect with the people who are watching, and I feel like a live stream is probably the best way to go around it. It could be, could not be. I might eventually try this. Like, I'm doing this on my iPhone. I have an iPad that I might try it on. Haven't quite figured that one out yet, but it is what it is. Yeah. Hopefully this video is fixed. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about re-rendering it a 15th time. And that's a 31. Let's go to the minute. That's wild. Like, it's interesting. It plays fine in the software, but when I go to render it back out, it doesn't work at all. So we're gonna have to go in here and see about like if there's a render. Sometimes there's like create a new clip, but there's nothing missing. That's the thing. Delete that track. Like the audio's fine. That's not the problem. It's like you have a missing clip, but there's no missing clips unless it's this one. Oh, this is the picture. It's weird. It's wild. Video can be really weird, very strange, especially if you're making videos. It's like, why is that not working? Like I can play it in the video clip here, and it's just fine. And I go to export it out, and it tells me that there's a missing clip somewhere. One or more clips of missing or offline sources. Well, show me what they are. It won't tell me. So I have to go back. I'll go away calendar. I do like my calendar, but I don't need to see my calendar. Back to here. Offline clips. It's like, you have an offline clip. I do? Where? Because all of them seem to be fine. It's the wildest thing. I don't know what's talking about. So, it's like, you have an offline clip. I wonder if I bounce this as a... Maybe I have to go through and make it. Ooh, let's make. Oh, TV just shut off. New compound clip. Create. Maybe that's what it's got to be something with audio. Yeah, that's what it was. Audio is weird in video sometimes. I don't know what it is. Replace. Yeah, I want to replace the file. Render. Sometimes you got to just troubleshoot a little bit and get things set up by doing like compound clips within Resolve. Sometimes you got to do it within, I've even done it with audio where I'm doing audio inside like Luna or some other DAW, and it just doesn't quite click. So they're like, yeah, it doesn't quite click. I'm like, that's great. Why doesn't it click? And it's because it thinks it's missing, but it's really not. It's weird. But if you just create a new one and then render it, then it should be fine. In theory, you know, it's like one of those things like, yeah, maybe not. For those who are watching, thank you. We got at least one person watching. We had 17 to begin with, but, you know, yeah, oh, I'll watch it at the end of my lunch hour. Oh, now it's time to go back to lunch, you know, type of thing. And then sometimes you're like, I think I'm going to watch this guy, and he's just going to sit here and talk and rant. That's why I kind of do these for half hours right now. It's because, I don't know, I don't feel like I have enough to say in a half an hour. And I don't feel like people want to watch that for half an hour. Weird. Like, yeah, it starts, it's got music, and then it goes away, which is weird. create compound clips and you think they work. Oh, thanks for the comment there. I'm gonna call you Gianni. If I butcher your name, I'm sorry. It's a shirt from a church that I did a car show for. It was a really fun car show. We had all sorts of really cool, like Lamborghinis were there and like cool vintage cars. I can't remember all the cars that were there. But we had a band that played, and we did live sound for the band that was playing. And we've done it for a couple years now. This is the first year I did it. I have another shirt that I did it earlier back. Um, but that shirt for this year shrank in the wash. I was really bummed because it was black and just had like a big car on it that looked really cool. But it shrank. I might talk to them and see if like, hey, you guys got any extras that are like in a medium, because my shirt shrank and I really like the shirt. So if I do it next year, they'll give me another shirt for next year's, but I can't bank on that. You really can't. So why is there like a render in place type thing? Hmm. Normal. What if we normalize? That seems to be better. I just don't understand it. If someone could tell me what I'm doing wrong, maybe that would be great. But I can't get my clip here in Resolve, DaVinci Resolve. It keeps telling me that I have missing clips, but all my clips are here. So maybe if I make a compound clip of those. Oh, wait, no, I saw a render in place thing. Sometimes a render in place is just what you need, and I don't see it. I'll find it again. It was kind of neat. It was like render in place. I'll find it. Render in place. Time, sure. Video, yep. See what it does. I rendered it in place. Does that mean I'm done? Probably not. See what happens. Yeah, one render. Yeah, I rendered that one clip. I don't want to render that one. I want to render this whole clip. I'll go back to, let's see, let's go here. It has a proxy on it, but what's the proxy? I'll just render it in place. Render in place. Yep. Anyways, yeah, we might call it a day. It doesn't seem like anybody's watching anymore. We got some things we got to work on. So if you like this, hit the like and subscribe. If you want to see more, let us know. I see keep people bouncing back and forth like, oh, one person's watching, one person's not. I don't know. Keep telling them to stop calling me. They go back and forth calling me. Normalize audio levels, yes. Normalize. Mute that. I don't know. See if I go and render. It's the strangest thing. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, I'll try it. Add to queue, yep. Or add, replace, render. See what happens. Yeah, like I said, we haven't been going. Well, we've been going for about half an hour now, and we got people in your. I don't know what a degent is. Is that? I might have to look that one up. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really set up to play things right now. Whether that's games and or instruments. But uh, maybe. Maybe at some point. I don't know. Don't really have an answer for that. Like I said, I'm just trying to get some videos rendered here today. Can't remember where I put that video. It's in projects, I'm sure of it. Yeah, it's just hard sometimes trying to like. Weird. I don't know. I haven't quite figured this out. It's the heaviest playing style of metal music. I have not heard of that style of metal music. I'm not overly traversed in the metal scene. We do a lot of like, what's the word? Like alternative rock, those types. Metal is not something I do a whole lot of. I'd like to maybe try. Be kind of cool. We get some metal people in here from time to time, but they're not like super heavy. But they're not like thrash metal or anything. Like, there's so many subgenres of metal nowadays. It's like kind of hard to keep up with, and I can't keep up with it all. So, it's also kind of like with alternative rock, like we can't really keep up with it all, anyways. So the rock that I have been doing has been more like the kind of like almost like the 90s, like grunge, almost a little bit. We got some of that's been coming through lately. I'll have to check that song out. I've heard of Periphery. I have heard of them. I haven't, like I said, I'm not super traversed in it, so I don't know a lot of different types of music, especially with all these like subgenres. But I have heard of Periphery. Maybe I'll check them out. Probably after I'm done with this and I'm eating my lunch. Maybe I will, because I'm starting to get hungry and it's like almost 1 o'clock here. So we're gonna maybe call it. I don't know. But each time I'm like, I'm gonna call it, and then I get on something else. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out why my stuff's not working. Remove attributes. Plot. What is this proxy? It's like you'd have a proxy. Okay, proxies. But I don't need a video track. That's the fun thing. Is like I just need these tracks to work. Delete that track. I don't know. It's weird. Why does my ceiling look like a mattress? Actually, this ceiling is it's a special ceiling. Actually, it is filled with about 1.5 feet of insulation each floor joist. So that's actually the wood you see there is a floor joist for the floor above us. If we did it the way that we were going to, we would have lost height in our studio, and we didn't want to lose any height. We didn't want to feel like we were stuck in a box. Plus, acoustically, there's just some properties that didn't work well. So what we did is we filled it with insulation and then covered it with fabric. The walls around us are all, as you can kind of see back behind me here, they're the same type of thing. They're insulation covered in fabric. We did them kind of in a neutral fabric, so when we filmed the videos, when you looked straight on it, you could put light and different things and make it look cool. But I wanted a pattern to the ceiling. I didn't want just a straight fabric, because then I felt like we're kind of in that same thing, like we're in a box, and I didn't want to be in a box. We wanted something that had a little more pattern, so we used paisley fabric. And then you can kind of see there's a gap, like right here in the video. That gap, that's actually an air duct that's in works of being refitted. So it actually adds better ventilation. We got ventilation in here now, but it's going to add better ventilation when we get that air duct actually done. There's another one behind it too that we might do. I can't remember which one is a cold. I have them marked, but one's a cold air return and one's actual like ventilation. Both will be used. I just got to figure out how we're fitting that. And I got a couple guys that have shot me some quotes and stuff on how to do it the way that it needs to be done so it fits the, you know, like specs correctly. Yeah. That's all I really know. What music remixer? Interesting. That is a neat plugin. Um, yeah, that's all. That's the only reason people. Actually, a lot of people really like it. Anybody who comes down, they're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," because you look at it with the grand scheme of the space. Right now, you're just seeing a little window of the actual space I'm in. That it does actually work really well. Above us is another like set of acoustic panels. You can kind of see this one here, corner right here. It's kind of hard to point and look at a video, but there's an acoustic cloud that's also above us too. But the whole ceiling, the whole space is designed to be acoustically accurate, which is it sort of is, um, but also isolate the upstairs from the downstairs because we have a whole house above us. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if it did or not, but that's why, in case you're curious. Still trying to figure out this video. I don't know what is going on with it. Oh, unmute. Yeah, I get audio levels. It says it's there, and if I go in here to replace render, yeah, I don't know what it's all about. I'm gonna hopefully figure this out today. Oh, thanks for the likes. We got 3 people have liked. 3 people have liked this video. If you want to watch other content, we got stuff that's not live streamed. It's all just your kind of general. It's more like recording and studio type stuff. But there's sometimes I have some entertaining stuff out there that's nothing. It's not what you think. It's like, oh, this guy's going to talk about this guitar review, and then I end up fudging something because we don't edit a ton. Thanks for the other like, whoever left that for us. We don't do a ton of like super editing. A lot of it's kind of off the cuff. So sometimes I say stuff and I mess it up. I'm like, I could edit it out, but I'd rather just leave it. But well, we are pushing an hour. Wow, I didn't think we'd hit an hour with the video with this live stream today, but sometimes you do. I get people hitting me up on Facebook, but you know, it is what it is. It's like I think I fixed it. All right. Took freaking forever, but I fixed it. So I don't know what I did, but it's fixed now. Let's see, what do we need to do? We need to go Dropbox. I wish there was a better service where I could do audio and video, like dropping of things, where it's not doing like Dropbox does a fairly good job, but there's times where it just doesn't work. So we're gonna delete the one that didn't work. Delete. And drop in version 2. Yeah, Dropbox works really well for a lot of things, but doesn't really. Does Google Docs work? Songwriting Joe. First of all, thanks for watching. Google Docs works if you are sending documents to people. Like I've used Google Docs, actually still use Google Docs quite a bit myself for writing things out and just kind of stuff like because it pulls up everywhere. I can go to any browser and find it. I like Google Docs. If you're not like someone who has to write a lot of stuff all the time, it's great. It's also great if you're sharing with others who like need to open it up and like add to it. You can send them the Google Doc. They can open it up in their Google Drive, type it out, add to it, and then save it and send it back to you. And then you can just open it up in your computer. There's not like a lot of files back and forth, as long as you have the permissions set correctly. But it's interesting. We use Dropbox more for like sending videos. Not so much like I'll send audio if I'm sending certain things. I do voiceover work, yes. ACX audio standards. ACX I'm not 100% sure about because a lot of the stuff we work in is either WAV, like .wav files. But we do voiceover recording quite a bit. We've done audiobooks here. We did one on Mount Everest that was like about like a son and a dad, like planning and then like scaling Mount Everest. It was a true story. They actually did it. I can't remember the book off the top of my head. That was a couple years back. We've done like voiceover work for like there's a food conglomerate called AIB. We've done some work for them where we've done voiceovers for their like PowerPoints that go out like nationwide. Um, more that's more like on the lines of uh, food. What is like just basically like the rules of how to make food like on a grand scale. Um, we've done all sorts of voiceover stuff, podcasts and stuff too, you know. But the standards, audio standards, that one has me a little stumped because, uh, like I said, we usually just send them a WAV file. Like we make sure it's within the like levels, so it's not just like super quiet. Like it's within a standard of level that way, where like it's at a certain, they call them LUFs. It's like so like -14 is like Netflix, you know. So we're in the like streaming standards when we send out something, but I could not tell you um, in that schemes of what those standards are. But feel free to ask us. We might know and just not know. It's called that too. That happens. Daryl, got to send people stuff. But yeah, that's what we know. I just can't believe we've done this for an hour. Almost an hour. It's been 45 minutes. Did not anticipate today's live stream going this long, but we might just do hour at a time. I just gotta try to find like the right time frame that works for us and for everybody else out there that might want to watch. Imagine songwriting, Joe. You do a lot of songwriting, so a lot of that's like the stuff that goes for songwriting when you record songs kind of works well for. My hair's going nuts again. It kind of goes along the lines of also sending stuff for voiceovers. Like they kind of go hand in hand. Yeah. I'm not sure how many people have actually watched this in the last hour, but you never know. That's all I know. Got to close DaVinci Resolve because I don't need it open anymore. Cool. That's all I really know. Like a lot of people ask me a lot of different questions throughout my weeks, and I try to answer them the best I can. Sometimes you got to do email stuff, especially when you're your own business. Emails are important. Also, keeping things organized is important because there's so much stuff that just kind of goes on throughout your week that you forget. Interesting thing, recording with my interface, I found out that I needed to route certain things a certain way. And I didn't know that until we were recording the other day. It was weird. 5, because 1 and 2 is 1 and 2. It was strange. It was like, oh yeah, I'm not getting audio from this one thing, and I couldn't figure out why. And I just found out that within my mixing or within my control software for my interface, I just didn't have it turned on. I didn't have time to figure it out. And I'm like, I know these two other inputs work. We've now since now we've figured it out. We have thought about changing interfaces. We're using RME right now, and we're kind of considering maybe going to one of the new Apollos. The problem is the new Apollos only have so much inputs, but it is what it is. Like so, but I have enough that I could, you know, I'd probably sell what I have. Like I'd sell my RME and I'd sell one of my clarets. I have 2 clarets right now. I can actually have 4, which is a lot of processing. It's a ton of processing, to be honest. Put a little dynamics on that. Back to editing guitars. had to edit a video and I'd forgotten about it. So we're back to editing guitars again, but I don't know. We'll just kind of keep going on, moving forward. Might have to end it because I do have to use the restroom. So if you are watching and you like this, hit the like and subscribe. We do have a channel. I got another one. Winter Soldier, tax collector. Have you paid your taxes? I paid my taxes, but I paid them like at the beginning of 2024. So if you're curious if I pay my taxes, yes, I pay taxes just like everybody else. I don't know that's kind of a strange question, but yeah. What genre do I make? Oh, so we make all sorts of genres. I myself am more of the punk and indie and kind of garage rock. Like if you were to put it in there. Thanks for the interior design, Winter Soldier there. But the genres that we do work with hip hop. I don't make hip hop, but I do work with hip hop. I have a guy that actually comes in and he does a majority of the production work when it comes for hip hop. It's smart. If you want to work in a genre and you don't know, find someone who does. But we also work in like singer-songwriters. We work with indie bands. We work with alternative bands. We work with punk rock bands. Some metal. We try to work with whoever we feel we have a good fit with. Look like one of the actors. I wonder which one. I've never been told I look like an actor. I get homeless guy from time to time. It just depends on how I look. Yeah, I love my punk rock. I grew up with punk rock. Love my punk rock stuff. I'll try to work with punk rock bands as much as I can. If there's any punk rock bands watching and you have a bunch of songs that you have written and recorded but don't feel like you can mix and master them, send them to us. We can mix and master your stuff if you've already got it recorded. We'll send you like a Dropbox folder. You can throw all your files in that Dropbox folder. We have some requirements to fit that. So, oh, thank you. You have a blessed day and night too, Winter Soldier. I'm using RA20 and a cloud lifter into a Sapphire. That's an older interface. That's an old Focusrite one. They don't make the Sapphire anymore. It was cool. We had one we had the big Sapphire. It was I can't remember. It had 2 liquid pre's in it. Basically, it had a ton of input and output. And one day it came down here and it was dead. But yeah, they do want things really loud, and I usually work off of, when it comes to standards having things loud enough, I usually just send them a like basically I make sure that my meters hit, because I have like a pair of mastering meters that I use, and I make sure those mastered meters are like minus, because I use LUFS, which is your kind of your best bet when you're like trying to figure out how loud things are, and that's LUFS. But I use those to make sure it's loud enough, and those tell me that if it's within like minus 14, minus 16, which is at the top, kind of the top end of that meter, that it's loud enough. It's gonna be plenty loud enough. Yeah, the Sapphire stuff was great. I don't know why they discontinued. I guess they wanted to move on. I'm using a set of Clarets that's also Focusrite. I've had Focusrite stuff forever. The Claret stuff I really like. Even if you wanted to get rid of your Sapphire, I would go with a Claret. What's the one? They make a 2-channel one. It's not super expensive. Yeah. RMS Normalize. Is that a good way to go? It is a good way to go. I've never used RMS Normalize. I've heard of people that do use it. However, I wouldn't stick with Audacity. If you could find something better than Audacity, like I use, right now I'm using Universal Audio's Luna, and the nice thing is it's free. You can do whatever, you can get it for whatever. They do have they have like what they call a paid version. Basically, it just gets you a bunch of their plugins, but the software itself is free, and it works on both uh, with an Apollo with their hardware. Also works standalone, like with whatever interface you want to use, but it also works on Mac and PC. So you can. The PC side is a little, a little. Actually, it's last time I used it on PC, it actually worked really well. Um, but for a while, it was kind of glitchy. I think they're working stuff. They drop updates for it like almost every other week. It seems like. Yeah, Clarets are great. Uh, they're not cheap, especially the big ones. I think the big interface, the 8 channel one, is like $1,000. Um, use Ableton as well. Yeah, Ableton works well. I could never get my head around Ableton. I have to use the ACX check feature if Audacity. He won't pay you if the ACX standards aren't. That's weird. I have actually never come across that. I've never had someone like, if it's not up to our standards, we're not going to pay you. I've never had that. I've had it to where like, oh hey, you worked too long. How do we get? How do we not pay you as much? Um, but never comes across the standard like, oh I need. And I've sent stuff to radio stations like in the UK, and they've got a in the UK's got even a weirder set of standards when it comes for stuff too. And I've sent stuff to major record labels and never have had that either. I've had them not want to pay me just because their budget didn't call for the amount of hours their artist worked for. But not not a standard issue. Not like, oh, we need them in wave. Okay, well here's a broadcast wave, or we need them in we need an MP3, or we need. But that's strange. Huh? That's weird. I have never heard of that, to be honest. Not that it doesn't exist or that it says existed prior. Yeah, that is quite annoying. I would be very frustrated that they'd be like, hey, you know what? You pay me to do what I need to do. That's fine. If you're going to pay someone else to check it, that's on their end. But if you're doing the voiceover and you're doing the editing and the mixing of the voiceover and all that stuff, and there's just one guy that checks to make sure it's up to standard, that's a little weird to me. That's very annoying for sure. I don't normally have to deal with that. I just edit it and send it out, make sure it's loud enough. If it's not loud enough, I just have them tell me like, hey, tell me if it's too loud. Uh, and they say yes or no. But usually my meters tell me. I try to have a good set of meters that I trust, and I recommend anybody find a good set of meters that you trust, whether they're digital or analog. There's so many metering, like you can get meters pretty inexpensively. Like Waves have one, I think that's free. Um, I'm not trying to plug Waves, even though I'm an affiliate for them, but they do have a set of meters. I can't remember what they're called. They're free. Yeah, I think you're right. Audible does require -3 LUFS. Netflix is -14. What's the other one? There's another one that I came across where it was a weird number. It was like -6, and I can't remember what the service was. Um, but there are, there's a plugin, and I'll remember the plugin probably at midnight when I'm asleep. But there's a plugin out there that will check for you. Like you put it in there, and I can't remember the plugin, but you can put it in there and it'll check to make sure it's loud enough. But then you can like toggle through different like standards. Like, oh, here's Netflix's, here's YouTube, here's HBO Max, here's broadcast level for a radio station. Like it's got a bunch of different ones you can check through, so you can like toggle through and make sure that you're somewhere close to those standards. Otherwise, I would say if you can get your stuff to -3, which is pretty loud, that's stinking loud. Spotify has a standard too. I think Spotify's like -12, something like that. I have found that a lot of these services, and they don't tell you this, that they ask for a certain standard. Like we want this level with this type of file format. But then once they actually send it out, like once you're listening to it on your iPhone or your laptop or TV or whatever it might be, they actually throw on another set of compression and limiting and bring the volume down. So like Apple Music if you give it to them, they actually, if it's not loud enough, they'll make it louder. Like they have a limiter that kicks in and it makes it louder or quieter, depending. If you're too loud, it'll bring it down. So it's kind of weird that people are asking for weird standards, because once it gets out there, these services, because I know you can listen to me, was it Spotify? You can listen to books through Spotify. I was doing it this morning, and I know Spotify, if it's too loud, they will bring it down. They have a algorithm compressor that'll kick in. Yeah, it's a useful plugin. I have it somewhere, and I haven't used it in a while because there for a while I used it a ton because I didn't know what I needed to do. And as I've kind of gotten away from it, I kind of figured out, like, okay, when I look at my meters here on my computer or over here where I have my other set of meters, those other set, when I look at them, I kind of got a good idea of, like, okay, when it hits here, that's what I need. When I hit -6 on my meters, that's what I need for Spotify. When it hit, that's not necessarily, that's just kind of an example. Or if it hits -3, it's loud enough. So, send voice. I know -3 is loud. It's incredibly loud. Yeah, I usually I'll turn mine all the way down. I got my knob here for my speaker volume. Yeah, I'll turn it all the way down if it's that loud. I get stuff that people send me for hip hop, or here's a track that I want you to mix, and they send me stuff, and it's all at like -6, -3. It's like stinking loud, and I have to go through and renormalize everything. And I'm usually normalize stuff to about -9, give or take. Sometimes it's more. But I'll bring it down to I'll bring it down -9, and that'll give me a more easy to work with file. I mean, it's like you're clipping my software. You're clipping my software and my converters and everything, and my speakers, and it sounds terrible. And I'm like, okay, let's bring it down, and then everything sounds normal again. So it's the strangest thing. I really don't have an answer for that, but at some point, imagine as like these services go on and on and on, we'll get more of a standard set. Yeah, there'll be more like, yeah, it's got to be -10. -10 would actually make sense for me, because everything's kind of hovers around from 14 to like 9 in the LUFs. I've noticed, but who knows? Like, who really knows? Yeah, that's what I know. It's I wouldn't say it's very much, but I try to be helpful. Hopefully you can get some of that kind of figured out, or they can be like, hey, we will pay you, but it's got to be -3. You're like, okay, I could make it -3. It's not going to sound very good because it's going to be clipped. It's hard to get a vocal to be that loud without having it sound distorted, or clipped. It's like, you guys get once it hits Spotify, it's gonna be, if it's at -3, they're gonna bring it down. I guarantee you Spotify will bring it down. So will Apple Music. And Audible, I think you can listen to Audible on a phone app, and it'll bring it down too. I'm sure of it, that Audible, once it hits them, they're like, yeah, this is too stinking loud. We're gonna bring it down. But yeah, it's doing audio is a strange thing. Sometimes dealing with people's stuff that they want you to do. Kind of want you to jump through some hoops, and whether the hoops are good or not, I don't know. But I've jumped through my fair share of strange hoops when it's like, yeah, we want this file. I'm like, okay, I'll mix it, I'll master it. Hopefully it's what you want. I gotta spin around here and resettle. Hopefully that helps you out, Songwriter Joe, or Songwriting Joe. Hopefully you also write songs too. I like writing songs if I can. I don't get to very often, but we got 7 people who've liked this. That's awesome. Hopefully anybody else who has watched this, they find that we have other videos too that you can go watch. I'm working on some tutorial videos on this is how I mix this. You take care as well. That's awesome that you write songs and books. if you have a channel, I will definitely check it out. Hopefully you have a good afternoon as well. I think I'm going to do the same thing and kind of buzz off here. I've got some stuff I got to finish up, and I didn't think that this would go as long as it did. So for everybody who has been watching, thanks for watching. Go hit the like and subscribe. Make some music if you can. If not, watch our other stuff, and we'll see you next time.